Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told I had a voice radio, so today I am showing you another exciting new GX that's coming out in the upcoming Shining Legend set, releasing on October the 20th. It's Raichu GX, and the most interesting question at the beginning is why Raichu and not Alolan Raichu? Alolan Raichu is one of the stars of the new Pokemon Sun and Moon games, and we've only had one Alolan Raichu card so far, and it's been a fairly rubbish promo card. Surely we need some love for Alolan Raichu. It weirds me out that we're getting regular Raichu GX. Hey-ho. 210 HP is standard for a Stage 1 GX. They've all got 200 or 210, except, of course, for Alolan Muck. The retreat of 1 is nice, but not as nice as this Raichu, because we're all used to having free retreat on a Raichu. The weakness to fighting is actually really bad, because Darkrai's going to be good after Burning Shadows. Dramper's good now. Zoroark's good now, and I recently looked at Zoroark GX coming out in the same Shining Legends set, which also looks incredibly good. And they're all weak to fighting, which means people are going to be playing fighting Pokemon to take down all these fighting weak Pokemon, which means they'll be taking down Raichu as well. Slightly inconvenient. Not to mention Marshadow GX, who's got the ability allowing him to copy any of the attacks of basics in your discard pile. So if you're playing a deck with a half-decent basic, you've got a built-in tech against cards like Raichu. And the resistance to metal is good, because resistance to anything is always good. It's just nice to get rid of a bit of damage. Now, the attack that's getting most people excited here is the first attack, Powerful Spark. 20 damage, plus 20 more for each lightning energy you have in play, attached to all of your Pokemon. Now, this might sound like Darkrai EX's attack, Dark Pulse, and that's because it's exactly the same. It might sound like Primarina's attack, and it does, because it is, although Primarina's is 10 plus, not 20 plus. Now, this is a good attack, but only if you can get a whole bunch of energy on the field. Now, Darkrai is a basic, so uses Max Elixir. It's got Oblivion Wing on Yveltal, and the upcoming Darkrai GX, which allows you to take Darkrai GX from the discard, put it on the bench, and attach a Darkness Energy from the discard. So the question here is, what's Raichu got? Now, the first thing that Raichu's got is Magnezone. Magnezone just allows you to attach as many Lightning Energy as you want, whenever you want, as long as you're not ability locked by something like a Garbodor or a Hex Maniac. Now, Magnezone may or may not survive the upcoming rotation. We don't know. Being in Breakthrough means it may or may not. It's going to be right on the borderline. If you've got Magnezone, this could be fun. We've got cards like Alolan Vulpix and the upcoming Diancie, although Diancie does use Fairy Energy, which does make it slightly more awkward to put it in a deck like this, that can help you get these Stage 2s out. It's not as difficult as it used to be. If you can get Magnezone going, you'll get a lot of energy out. Raichu will be hitting for a huge amount of damage. We've also got Vikavolt. Now, Vikavolt attaches from the deck, which is good. Very, very good. But it's 1 lightning energy per turn, plus 1 grass. And I know that Raichu attacks for 2 energy, and I know that you can put the grass on a Raichu to feed that requirement. But you still really want to be using largely lightning energy here. Playing a Stage 2 just to attach 1 lightning energy from the deck, though, I fear might be just a little bit too much. I think it might be a bit expensive. Now, if we ever get a grass charger bug, then we can use Forest of Giant Plants to evolve up to Vikavolt straight away. Then I might be singing a very different tune. We've got the Electrode that came out in Generations, and that allows you to knock it out and attach it as 2 lightning energy to one of your Pokemon. I'm not a huge fan of Electrode for 2 reasons. Firstly, to do this means you've got to give up a prize. That is not a good thing. And secondly, this means that you're attaching it as a special energy, so all your opponent needs to do is drop something like an enhanced hammer, and then all of a sudden you've just completely wasted a prize, and you've not really gotten any benefit from it whatsoever. One slightly more awkward but potentially better option here we've got is Dragonair and his Dragon's Wish attack. For 1 colourless energy, meaning we can use it for a lightning energy, the following turn, as long as your opponent doesn't play a Pokemon Ranger, you can attach as many energy cards as you like from your hand to your Pokemon. Now, we've already seen people play this with Darkrai EX, so we know it can work for this kind of attack. And what you do is you play a whole bunch of Professor's Letter to get as many energy as you can. You use Dragonair, just pepper energy around the field, and then sweep with Raichu GX until you win the game. And of course, if you're using Dragonair, might I suggest double Dragon energy. When attached to a dragon, it will count as 2 lightning energy. It will add 40 damage, and Dragonair's a dragon type anyway. So what you could do here is use Dragon's Wish and then attach loads of lightning energy you've got with Professor's Letter while attaching double Dragon to Dragonair in the same way that Darkrai decks do at the moment. Now, we've also got Max Elixir here, and I know that Raichu isn't a basic Pokemon, but Pikachu's a basic Pokemon, and we've got the non-GX Tapu Koko that's seeing a lot of play at the moment because it's great and has free retreat, meaning if you start with it, you can retreat it into a Pikachu or a Raichu as you please. And that's a basic, so you can use Max Elixir. Tapu Koko GX is not a terrible Pokemon, and that's a basic, so you could certainly use some kind of Tapu Koko and use Max Elixir here. And the last option I've got, and this is for really keeping energy rather than accelerating energy, but Wish Baton. Wish Baton, if it's attached to an active Pokemon that gets KO'd, you get to take free basic energy from that Pokemon and move it to one of your bench. Very handy for keeping this energy on the field. It's like free experience shares in one, except it's got to be attached to the active that gets KO'd, not the bench that wants the energy. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I might be more excited about the second attack here. 190 damage and do 30 to yourself. Now, I know doing 30 to yourself is rubbish, and I know Protection Cube has been rotated annoyingly because I'd be really good with this, although you still probably want Choice Band anyway. But 160 damage for free energy is great. On my stream, twitch.tv/PTCGRadio, in Expanded, I've been playing a lot of Turtonator lately. And because with Turtonator, you can use Blacksmith to keep him rolling, I've seen how much 160 damage can give you a huge advantage here. Well, you know what? Raichu's got this as well, and this is significantly better than doing something like 130 with a Tapu Koko or a Volcanion, and the reason is very simple. The numbers are better. So if you pop a Choice Band on Raichu and do Thunder for 160, you're actually doing it for 190. Which means you're KOing EXs and all basic GXs. So the really awkward HP ones like Lapras and Zygarde that have 190, they're going down as well. You then play a Professor Kukui and you're up to 210, which means that every Stage 1 GX, other than Alolan Muck, will be going down in one hit, and that's why Thunder is so good. The numbers, 160 is a darn sight better than 130, because it means Choice Band KOs all basic GXs, Kukui and Choice Band KOs all Stage 1 GXs. The numbers on Thunder are great, and I'm looking at all the comments from Raichu from the first hour of it being released while I'm making this video, and everyone's talking about the first attack, which is good. But I think everyone's sleeping on Thunder here, ladies and gentlemen. The numbers are sick, and it only takes free energy, which means you don't need Magnezone here. But Vikavolt or Electrode or Max Elixir, they could be your friend. Now, I've been very positive about Raichu GX so far, so let's get some negativity going. The GX attack. Good news, it's for the same energy cost as Thunder, and you know if you watch these videos, I do not like adding extra energy just for a once per game GX attack, so I'm in favour of that. But I just don't like it. 120 damage plus auto paralysis. Now this is the same GX attack as Lapras has got, except you do an extra 20 damage. So why don't I like it? Well, the thing is, you don't hit the numbers, and secondly, Acerola's coming out. So you do 120, and then your opponent's Pokemon is paralysed. Well, your opponent plays Acerola, or Olympia, or Guzma, and you've just wasted your GX attack. The damage is gone with Acerola at least. and the paralysis is gone. Maybe you did it on an evolved Pokemon and they've had to waste the evolution and evolve it up in the future. Maybe you've cost them an energy attachment or two. But that really is it, ladies and gentlemen. Lapras doesn't see play for the GX attack, Raichu won't either. Now don't get me wrong, if I'm playing against something like a Garbodor deck, and I don't have another attacker, and I want to just take a prize without having to do 30 damage to myself, maybe I'll use a GX attack. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Two more little points before we finish. They're both related to Raichu. Remember that Raichu GX and Raichu are different named cards, so we can combine them here. We've got the new Raichu coming out, where you evolve it, you get automatic paralysis. Although, to be honest, I've got the same concerns with Acerola as I do with a GX attack, but it's still worth bearing in mind. You can still paralyze to buy you a turn, while you get a bunch of energy on the field. And then there's the Raichu from X and Y, which was reprinted in Generations. And was also reprinted in Generations, which still has that really good Circle Circuit attack. It's slightly annoying that Raichu needs double colourless and you're just rolling with basic lightning energy here. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I can live with that. It's a good attack, it's a good tech. I would certainly play one or two of these in your deck. The one that causes paralysis is up to you, but I put one or two Circle Circuit in here. Now, in terms of a score, I feel comfortable giving Raichu 4 Wassies. And I wouldn't be surprised if that ended up looking a bit harsh in the future. The first attack here is really good. You've got to pile a whole bunch of energy on, we've got options, it's up to you whether you can make that consistent enough. But really, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's a second attack we need to start getting excited about. I don't mind the 30 damage to myself, going down to 180 is still GX, EX territory. I'm getting a one-hit KO on pretty much everything but a Stage 2 GX here, and that sounds alright by me for just free energy. But if you disagree, that's what the comment section is there for. Go nuts, be nice. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter @TheWassy, check out my stream at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio, and if you want to support the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/PTCGRadio. The most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.